Welcome to Digital Academy. Today we're gonna talk about how to create a plastic box. Let's start by cylinder. I will create a cylinder, and in a menu of subdivision I will decrease the subdivision of the caps. I will use scaling tool to scale it to up, and then heading to create another cylinder, move it down and scale it to be bigger than the first one, and scale it down and move it down. Decrease also the caps. I need to decrease the subdivision to allow modification of the poly modeling. I will create another cylinder, move it down and scale it, make the cap on the top. I will scale it again. You can use Alt button and navigate by your left mouse button. I will navigate around, move it down and move it and scale it up to allow some different modification, and move it down. Increase the size. Then I made the cap. You can also navigate by left mouse click. I will assign new material. I head to Arnold, AI standard surface. On the attribute editor, you can find it at the end. And I will choose a preset. Let's say glass and replace. In its glass, you need to increase metalness to allow different color. It's like transparent. If you want it more opaque, just increase the metalness. Let's say I want it like semi-glass. Then I will choose other cylinder, apply new material, also Arnold, and heading to AI standard surface, heading to preset, and then let's say I will choose plastic for this one and hit replace. You can change the color. The advantage of AI standard surface is that it apply the modification of the material itself. Let's say I will add different ones this time. I head to Arnold, AI standard surface, and head into presets, and let's make it ceramic. I will choose different color. Let's say I will choose this one. And also you can apply specular effects. Specular effect allows some light transmission effect. You can change the color, you can change the sum of this distance, change roughness, change weight. You can apply different modification of the color. Then I will head into polygon cube and create one. I will scale it. Let's say I want to add some different modification of, let's say I will modify in object mode. I need to move it and select it. I will move it away to allow some different modification. I will change faces and edges. You can choose any edge, any subdivision mode to allow some different modification. I need to make the bottom cap to allow its opening. So I need to decrease it, move it down. Let's say I will move it just down here. And then moving the object in object mode, I move it down. I select only this one and move it down. Let's move it inside. Let's decrease its size. Also, you can choose from different selection and scaling by shortcuts Q, W, E, and R for selection, moving, rotation, and scaling. I use R on a keyboard to choose selection of scaling tool. Let's say I will right click, hold down and apply new material, Arnold, AI standard surface, and choose different preset. Let's say I will choose car paint for this one, or let's say Cooper. I will change the color. Let's say I want to increase or decrease the metalness, the color effect of specular effect. You can apply different modification. It's like this lesson for demonstration of any material you can add. You can choose different preset, you can choose different color, you can apply different modification of the colors and the lights. You can navigate around by holding down Alt on keyboard and left mouse click to navigate around to see different outline and different angle of the lights. Let's say I will create polygon cube, decrease its size. I using scaling tool. You can decrease it, and let's say I will choose faces and apply some modification of the face. I choose this face and apply some modification by scaling tool. Then head into object mode and move as a whole object. Let's head into rotation. I press E on keyboard as a shortcut. And let's apply some precise rotation at rotate Z. I just left click and press the value I needed for rotation. Or you can rotate by E on a keyboard to head into rotation tool and just hold down J on keyboard to apply different preset and precise, increasing by 15 degrees. Just holding down J while rotation by mouse. Then I will scale it down, move it up. I need it to like an opener for the basket. Then I will move it up and scale it to the sides. Then move it down. Let's say I want to put it right down here. You can apply different modification, different shapes. It's like for demonstration, only for demonstration. You can navigate around by holding down Alt and left mouse click. You can select any object and press F on keyboard to apply increasing the size and framing like the object. You can select it and frame it. Let's apply some bevel by pressing Ctrl and B. This menu for beveling, it appears when you press Ctrl and B. Let's say I will choose an existing material. Holding down right click and choosing an existing material. I had applied different material. You can find it under existing material menu, and then apply beveling, Ctrl plus B. Then this menu appear and you apply some modification of it. You can press spacebar to see different view, like perspective, frontal, top view, and hitting spacebar again to return back to perspective view. Let's say I need to create a polygon cube, another polygon cube. I will move it down, move it anterior, move it down again, and let's say I apply some scaling modification. I will decrease its size. Let's say I choose faces, right click and heading to face mode. Then heading to scaling tool by choosing shortcut R on keyboard. And let's say I will select object mode again to move the object as a whole unit. And if I want to move an subcomponent, just hold down right click and choose an object mode or face mode, edge or vertex. Let's say I will scale it down to make it as a box around it. I will move it down and just scale it around, move it down again. Let's say I want to add this modification this side. You can moving by scaling and moving tool by hitting W on keyboard and R on keyboard. And let's head to face mode to apply some different modification. I select this one and delete it by backspace button on keyboard. I select this one and delete it. Let's say I want to apply some modification on edges. Just select edge mode and move it down, move it front, move it for a back. You just apply modification on the component you want to add modification. Just hold down right click and choose subdivision. Holding down shift while holding right click allow you choose different material, like let's say cutting tool. If I need to go to cutting tool, just holding down shift on keyboard and right mouse click and still holding to choose right click and holding to choose cutting tool. You can hold down shift while using cutting tool to apply precise cut on the half of the edge. Let's say I will choose this face and delete it. I navigate around by holding down Alt on keyboard and left mouse click. Let's say I want to apply some thickness for this. Just Control and E. Control and E apply extrude. Extrude increase the thickness. You can increase the thickness or the offset. Let's say I want to select object mode. You can see you increase any thickness in two different dimensions. If you see it as black, you can delete it, or you can apply another extrude to increase its thickness. It's like a different direction, or you can choose it and head into surface menu and reverse direction. If it doesn't work, just apply another extrude. It still appear dark, it need to be reversed in direction. Just select it and move it in another direction. You can see it's moving in another direction, so it increases the thickness. It's like a negative space. You can reverse direction from surface menu, or you can select it and move it down or up until it reverses its direction, or you can press Ctrl and E and apply another extrude. Let's say I will apply extrude and increase the thickness. Just press Ctrl and E and apply modification on thickness. If you want to apply precise small modification on thickness, just hold down Ctrl on keyboard to apply some slight modification. Just hold down Ctrl on keyboard and just press left mouse click to the right and the left. Just holding down Ctrl on keyboard. You can navigate around by holding down Alt and left mouse button to navigate to see it from the bottom side or from the front side, right or top side. Let's say I will select these faces and delete them. Also, you can delete edges and faces alone. Just head into object mode or subdivision mode by holding right mouse click and head into face mode. And return back to object mode to select the object and apply a new material. Let's say Arnold and AI standard surface and head into the surface at the back of attribute editor. You can choose different preset. Let's say I will choose for this one. Let's say I will choose gold. Then apply different color and apply different modification for specular. You can apply different modification according to what you need, according to the material you want to apply. Remember to navigate around by holding down Alt and left mouse click. Let's say I will apply some modification to this top part. You can duplicate it by Ctrl and D. Pressing Ctrl and D, apply duplication of any object you have in the scene. Just select it and apply Ctrl and D, or you can select it and holding down Shift and move it away. It will allow an identical copy. If you press Shift and move it, it will copy it. Or press Ctrl and D. Let's say I will move it up and scale it as a cap. Let's move it to the side, move it down. Then I will move it away. Then apply a new material to be able to differentiate it. Also AI standard surface, and I will choose a different preset. Let's say choose for this one and apply different color. Let's say I will choose this one. You can apply different modification to see reflection, like color, metallicity, roughness, weight. You can see it applied a different material. You will see the different material texture at the rendering at the end. I will create a polygon cube. I'll scale it down by scaling tool, just holding R on keyboard. I will move it away and scale it. Move it to the side, I'll move it down. You can apply a precise modification by holding the space bar button and choose a different view to be able to see it from different angle, like top view or frontal view, to apply precise modification of the poly modeling. Let's say I will apply a new material, also Arnold and AI standard surface. Let's choose different presets this time. Let's say I will make it like plastic. and choose replace. Hitting replace will apply the material to the scene. You can navigate around to see it from different angles, holding down Alt and just select it. You can find it on the left side outliner. I have made a copy by Ctrl and D and rotate around and apply a precise rotation, let's say 90 degrees on the channel box. If you want a precise rotation, just head into channel box and apply either rotate Z, rotate Y, rotate X, whatever you want to apply rotation, a precise rotation, just type in the value you want to rotate it. Or just rotate by pressing J on keyboard to apply precise rotation. Let's make a copy by Ctrl and D and move it down. If you want to make any duplication of any object, you can hold Shift on keyboard and move it by moving tool, or you can hold down Ctrl and D. Ctrl and D apply different duplication material. Let's say I'll move it. Let's say I need a different copy. Let's copy it by Ctrl and D. Let's move it down and scale it. I will scale it up. Let's say it's okay. You can scrolling back by scrolling by mouse, or you can hold Alt and right mouse click to apply navigation. Let's say I need to add some skydom light. Skydom light, it's like a normal light. Apply modification of the light and you can see different material. I can hit to attribute editor to apply different modification for the light. Let's say I will make it green. You can see this is lighting effect. You've applied a light to the scene. Just head into the Arnold menu and choose skydom light. And returning back to poly shelf modeling and choose polygon. I will create a polygon. It's like I need to make a bottom, a surface under the basket. Let's make it a surface around, increase its size. Let's move it down a little. I need to move it down and scale it to increase its size. It's like a background under the scene. I will make it, scale it, make it bigger. Just pressing R on keyboard to heading to scaling tool. And then I will go to edge mode and move this edge away. You can apply extrude to move a new edge rather than moving the existing one. I applied extrude by Ctrl and E. Then moving by moving tool, I move the edge I have selected. Then use scrolling down by mouse. Bend to right and left by holding down Alt and the middle mouse click. And then we'll apply a new material. Let's say Arnold material, an AI standard surface. And head into preset and choose a different one. Let's say for this one I will choose carbon metallic and apply different color. Let's say I will choose this one, make it lighter to apply see different material. Let's choose this one and apply some specular effect. Let's make it lighter. Then if you want to see the whole scene, you will need to navigate to Arnold and render. Render Arnold, you can apply different material and see the texturing effect. Let's combine these parts together by holding down Shift and right mouse click. And move this one, move it to the side. You can select them, head into the Arnold, and you can apply another light if you want to increase the light's effect. You can apply different lights. You can rotate it, move it, and scale it. You can apply modification to any light like an object. It's like scaling, moving, and rotation. This is point light. You can ban inside by Alt on keyboard and middle mouse click. And you can move this to the sides. I can rotate it to have a different angle. You can render at any angle you want, and you can render an image, you can render a video. Then you can select the light and rotate it also increase its size to increase its effect, or heading to attribute editor to change the effect and the color intensity and exposure. You can apply modification, or you can create a new light and apply different lights at the scene. You can choose different coloring for the light. It's like a lamping effect. It's like the color of the light itself. Then heading to the Arnold and render to apply the rendering effect. It's like rendering the scene to see the texturing and the lights. It will be slow according to the speed of your graphic card on your computer. You can see this is the normal scene at the end. After rendering, this is the final product you will create. It will appear on the rendering menu. You need to head into render menu to apply scene a different light and apply different modification. This is the final product you want to see at the end. It will appear at the render menu. Then you can apply some different modification while holding rendering menu. To apply see different modification you have applied, you can see it on the render menu, but it will make your computer slow. So you finish your product first and then heading to Arnold menu.